flame on max. I'ma keep it going, that ain't nothing left. Gotta keep the flame on max. I'ma keep it going, that ain't nothing left. Going, that ain't gotta keep the flame on. Gotta keep the flame on. Gotta keep the flame on. Keep the flame on.
Welcome to the Vertu Motors Arena in Newcastle. The last of the first leg games in the BBL Play-Off Quarter-Finals is ahead of us as the Plymouth Raiders take on the Worcester Wolves. Daniel Routledge alongside former Newcastle assistant coach Dave Forrester. Dave, Plymouth have had Worcester's number this season. You often say it's hard to keep beating a good team, but they have kept beating a good team all year.
Yeah, they've beaten 6 times. Some of those various different teams have played against each other. They've not been the same team every time, but it does get to the point where you're Worcester, whereby there may be something psychological in there. They may actually be assisted that this is a first leg, and as such the result in this basketball game is not definitive as to who progresses, so that may allow them to play with a little bit more freedom, knowing that even if they lose by 3 or 4, it won't be the case that Plymouth have beaten them again. It'll be the case that they're in a good spot for a home leg in the second leg.
Well, Brandon Anderson, who we've not seen since the 19th of March on a BBL basketball court, is back out there. He's been out injured, and they're throwing him out there for this big playoff game. It's a lot to ask for a guy coming back like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what actually his injury is, but he's got a major strapping on his left wrist, and he seems to have some form of neck strap on as well.
I think that's just his headband.
That's his headband,
yeah,
is it?
yeah.
I'm saying that's unfortunately that fashion has not reached my part of Gateshead yet. You know,
Coming soon.
The middle-aged legal sector in Gateshead is not caught with the headband around the neck.
The coaching, and see what the coaches earlier. I spoke to both of them to see what they thought about tonight's game. Well, PJ, your team has been in fantastic form over the last few months of the season. You look like you're hitting your straps at the right time. How do you think you feel things are going into these playoffs?
We feel great. You know, we made the playoffs early, secured 3rd place, and so we really sort of just trying to maintain for this date today, and we're ready to go now.
And obviously Worcester at the other end of the floor, you've really handled them this season. I know coaches worry about, can you keep beating the same team over and over again, but you really have had their number this season.
Yeah, we've executed really well against them, and we've done our homework both offensively and defensively. We've taken advantage of those things, and hopefully we can do the same thing again tonight. What's
the most important thing that you have to do well to win this game?
We've got to come out and start well. We've got to play our style of basketball, and make sure we play that intense defense that we've been playing, secure the boards, and then just free-flowing offense that we've been doing and sharing the ball.
Good luck in the game.
Thank you very much.
Well, Matt, first of all, I can see Brandon Anderson out there warming up behind you. What's the status on him?
So he's been cleared to play, which is good news for us. He's had a good week of practice. We wanted to be mindful of having him ready to play in the playoffs. So obviously he was absent sort of the last stages of league play, but he's looking good.
And how's the team feeling overall? Obviously you lost Mike Parks to injury as well, so it's been a season of adjustments really for you.
Yeah, it's just like the game, right? You just got to keep making the adjustments and do the best you can with the hand that you dealt, and I'm still quite happy with the cards that we have.
And at the other end of the floor, I mean, probably of all of the teams in the top 4, this is the one you've had the most difficulties with this season.
Certainly, I mean, PJ put together a really good team. I think they're well balanced, and despite two guys having to move on before the close of the season, they're still very strong, and we need to be at our best tonight.
And what is it that you really have to do well to win this game?
I think it's been smart. They move the ball really well. McGill obviously creates a lot of individual advantages, but selfless enough to move the ball, and the team continues to move the ball till they get the best look. So we've got to try and negate some of those assets, himself, Ashley, and try and control the pick and roll game.
Good luck in the game.
Cheers, Dan.
Thanks a lot, Matt. Well, yeah, I think looking at this, given the head-to-head this season, I think most people would be picking Plymouth to win this game. Where do you think Worcester can overturn the Raiders for the first time this year?
Well, they have their 3 guards healthy, hopefully, for the first time in a long time, and probably for the first time since they've played Plymouth. And Plymouth don't have their major shot blocker in Prince eBay, who's not here. So that tilts the balance just a little bit, but you're right about Brandon Anderson. He put his head down, though. Yep. But Brandon Anderson is the big question mark, because he hasn't played for so long. That can you expect him to come into a playoff game and be playing a seamless way that doesn't interrupt the flow of the rest of the team and also is effective? That's a hell of an ask. That is really, really tough. So they lose, I think, a little bit with not having had him play any games. The other thing is that Jordan Williams is a serious threat in this league against anybody, and it'll be interesting to see how Plymouth choose to guard him, whether it's with Ocharobia or whether it is with Hamilton, and his effectiveness will probably be a litmus test as to how well Worcester can stay close in this game.
Well, the 2 teams making their way out onto court ahead of tip-off in this ball game. Little fist bumps all the way around.
Yeah, they're starting McSwiggan, and Anderson's obviously coming off the bench, and McSwiggan starting at the 3 with Burns and Williams.
Well, it's been 4 days of basketball here in May Madness, and 1 more left at the Vertu Motors Arena before we head down to Worcester for the remainder of the quarterfinals. And before Plymouth and Worcester get themselves underway here in their first leg quarterfinals, the teams will again take the knee. Well, it will be Ocharobia and Williams to jump it up for the opening tip. And we are underway. Worcester will have the opening possession. Here's Kimball. Boutnett flipping back the other way and knocking down the first shot of the game.
Jordan Williams is an excellent facilitator for this team. You need to look out for that through the game. He's averaging about 6 assists a game, but he can really create for others as well as scoring the ball himself.
McGill just getting that one to neighbour. Charobia wants it down low, gets it. Good ball movement, but a great challenge by McSwiggan.
Yeah, great defensive possession for Worcester. Oh, he's thrown the ball away though, because the guards can come back and get it, and McGill's too quick.
No. It all ran away, and Williams was trying to throw it forward and ended up turning it over.
Worcester running their system, yeah, with swinging the ball from side to side.
Foul called on Will Neighbour.
Yeah, they will, I think, look to probably attack Will Neighbour in the post, because he has a lot of size, but Burns has a little bit of quickness advantage on him.
Williams back out to Burns. Boutner behind the back. Burns misses the 3. Great rebound by Jordan Williams to Burns for the flush.
Yeah, great rebound, but a great pass as well, because he hit the man right in rhythm, and Burns made a great cut to get down the lane. So good signs for Worcester here.
Here's Porter Bunton for 3, misses.
Yeah. Chris Porter Bunton's not shy. Good rebound by Mike Morsell coming in from the corner.
Jarobia, too much on that.
Yeah, just a little bit out of sync at the moment. Plymouth, a couple of offenses, a couple of passes that have not gone where they'd like them to.
Boutnet finds some room at the elbow and knocks down the jumper.
And he has played great this season with that 15-foot jump shot. He's automatic. He gets to his spot, snaking off the screen.
McGill for 3 in and out. Kimball's 3 is short. Porter Bunton, good positioning from Ocharobia, but he can't finish it off.
Yeah, you'd like to expect him to finish that there. He's got great position, but it don't matter. It doesn't count for anything if he can't finish the play.
Here's Williams in the post, shoveling one down to McSwiggan, trying to go underneath, hits the bottom of the rim.
Again, Jordan Williams being very unselfish as a passer. He'd probably want that one back and wish he could hit the attack.
What a buns into the finger roll.
And this is what Plymouth have a panoply of. You know, they have these long wing players. Morcell, McGill is quick, Porter Bunton, who can get to the rim in transition. You have to try and keep them out of transition.
Swinging in the corner is blocked by Porter Bunton. They still have it though, the Wolves, and they end up with an easy jam in the end.
Yeah, well, you like that if you're Plymouth. Again, your length is troubling the shooters, and there's a broken play, and Kimball made a nice play, but that's good intensity from the Raiders.
Porter Bunton to the fall away, tough shot.
And again, that's a bailout shot. That's good defense from Worcester, but now
McSwiggan, and they're jamming everything here, Worcester, in the early stages.
Yeah, they just look out of sync. I think McGill needs to maybe take control of this a little bit. The ball's touching everybody's hands, but not his.
Morcell got some room, back iron.
I think we might be seeing Ashley Hampton quite soon.
We might be seeing a timeout quite soon at this rate.
That's incredible play by Bownect, and Burns running the floor. Now he's now got another cheap one at the rim. He's just out hustling the Raiders at the moment.
McGill slipping as he drives. Wolves come up with it.
Oh, great try, great handle by Jordan Williams.
McSwiggan takes the contact, will go to the line for a bonus.
You know, that's great handle by Jordan Williams, because he basically rebounded the basketball, or stole the basketball, and then got off down the court. And when you've got a power forward who can take off down the court and create like a point guard, it gives you so many options. A good finish by McSwiggan, taking the contact and finishing. So I don't think we saw this coming.
No. 4.5 minutes gone, and it's Paul James who has to call the first time out of the game, because his Raiders trail by 8 points here. 12 points to 4.
14.
14 points, to 4. And the concern will be that Wolves are getting, everything at the rim, and they're struggling to get shots away.
Yeah, they probably had one good defensive possession when Porter Bunton got the block, and that was it. And down this, I think more problematic for them is their offense. They've been a bit static. Even the few of the passes that they haven't made, they haven't turned the ball over. They look like they might turn the ball over. They've been reduced to a Morcell tough three. Ocharubia missing a couple at the rim, and McGill trying to turn the corner to his left and falling over. And just, maybe seventh time is a charm for Worcester.
Well, maybe. It's hard to keep beating a team.
Was it lucky 7?
It's still a long way to go in the game, I think it's fair to say. 35.5 minutes. But the first 5 have definitely belonged to the Wolves.
7th heaven? I mean, there's many puns that we can use, isn't
We'll
there?
be here all night with it at this rate.
Don't encourage me.
So a chance to convert the 3-point play and open an early 11-point lead.
Good job by Josh McSwiggan.
Well, let's see what Plymouth come with out of that timeout. McGill has it. Down to Neighbour.
Looking for the...
throws it away. Boutneck with the steal.
It's a tentative pass by Will
McSwiggan for 3. Strings it. What a start by Worcester.
That's a tentative pass from Will Neighbour. He's got size advantage on Jordan Williams. He's got a fantastic turnaround fadeaway jump shot, or a jump hook, and he's not taking either of them. And that's a bailout shot by Chris Porter Bunton, and they're lucky they got the rebound on it, because
he does make it at the second attempt.
Well, they gave him 2 chances without a hand in his face, but that was a poor first shot early in the shot clock when you're down 14, and Will Neighbour chased down the rebound, which kind of bailed them out.
Boutneck. Porter Bunton's gone down hard.
Dear.
It's another slam for Burns. Porter Bunton clutching his shoulder, sorry.
They are just picking them apart in the lane at the moment. Burns is cutting without the basketball. Is exceptional. It's a nice pass by Bownack, mate.
Well, it's on going round the screen.
Yeah, stinger, I think. Just got a stinger on his collarbone and around his shoulder.
Well, he comes out of the game, and so too does Will Neighbour.
He's had a few injuries like that this year, Chris Porter Bunton, where he's gone down and he's ended up back in the game a bit later on, so let's hope that's one of them.
There's Dusha fresh into the action. Beastie came in with him.
He's a controlling feature for Plymouth, Dusha, so that might be what they need at this point. Dusha and Hamilton in the game. There you
Nice
go.
It's a great pass, and Hamilton just couldn't hang on to it.
But even in that move, even though they missed it, they dropped the ball, but even so, they got what they wanted, and they got the spacing right, and it all looked right again, so that's a positive sign for Plymouth. And that's a good steal by Mike Morsell, who's got long hands. Sorry, beg your pardon, long arms. His hands are the same size. He's got long arms, and he is a bit of a ball hawk.
He runs out of room in the end on the sideline, so it will stay with the Wolves.
I mean, they're getting beaten on both ends at the moment, Plymouth, but their offence is more of a concern, I think, than the defence. I think they will get to the speed of the game, and Worcester will slow down. Can they generate some good looks is probably the bigger question. And now they're bringing Daniel Johnson-Thompson in.
Elijah Burns getting a break. 10 seconds on the shot clock here for the Wolves. Ooh, lobbed into Johnson-Thompson. Does he see the clock here, Batman? His teammates are counting it down. He gets it off in time. It doesn't hit the ring, so that will be a 24-second violation.
Yeah, it's one of those 14-second situations again whereby the clock goes down very, very quickly and the ball has got a bit sticky.
Here's McGill for the Raiders. Dusha coming up to collect it. Back to McGill. Long two, I think. Doesn't matter, it doesn't go in. And Beastie's able to beat the ball to the sideline, keep it alive for Plymouth. Nice spin from Hamilton for two.
Yeah, that comes from Beastie's energy. You know, that's great. That's an unheralded play. But McGill shot probably a less than optimum shot, and Beastie was the one who received the basketball and went and got it. He's really helped them at times this year.
Boutneck into the elbow. He's 15-foot firing.
He's Trey Moore. That 15-foot jump shot is just going down.
Dusha trying to feed it in, and they're arguing it's a kick ball, but the difference between a kick ball and a non-kick ball is 1 second here.
Darling Dusha is like a riddle because he's a guy who shoots the ball well from the three-point line, but he wants to pass the basketball, so you don't want to overcommit to him, to allow him to pass the basketball to a guy who's open.
Anderson into the game for the first time since March. Here's Morsell. Off the mark.
There's a lot of kind of fadeaway jump shots from Plymouth. That's not really helping them at this point. They need to get something going at the rim.
Boutneck gets it to Williams. Cross to McSwiggan for three. The bench was up. They knew that was good.
He has a lovely rhythm to his shot. When he's allowed to rise up in his rhythm, he's able to. He looks like he's going to make every single one of them.
25 points in less than 8 minutes for the Wolves. Beastie looking to reply. Back iron. Comes all the way out to Dusha, though. Dusha getting in the lane. Drawing the foul, and will shoot two.
Yeah, it's a strong move by LBC Dusha there. I think he caught Brandon Anderson just under the chin, but it needs them to get to the rim. They got a little push off maybe, but definitely a foul on that. They need to get to the rim more. At the moment, we've had McGill shoot two long pull-up jump shots. Morsell shoot one. Beastie just shot it through with a hand in his face. They're not the aggressor in this game at the moment.
Dusha from the line gets his team into double figures. Here is Anderson.
They're looking to get the ball to Jordan Williams. It was just a little cross screen there to get Jordan Williams the ball in the block and let him be the facilitator. Bang.
Gives it back to Anderson. Williams gets into the elbow. Ooh, who did that touch last? Oh, it must have been Johnson Thompson. Dusha was in close proximity as well.
He made a motion towards the ball, yeah. That's a good defence by Plymouth, though. You'll live with Jordan Williams shooting an 18-footer off the dribble from the top of the key.
McGill driving in, getting all the way. Foul called.
It's beginning to remind me a little bit of the trophy final this game, because Plymouth started off very slow, and in that game it took a little bit of a while for McGill to kind of realise that he needed to make some plays, and he's now looking a lot more aggressive. The last 2 or 3 possessions down there, and they need him to be. That often happens when Dusha comes in the game, because Dusha plays the point.
Well, he certainly had a fabulous game in that trophy final, albeit in a losing cause.
Yeah, well, there comes a time when you can't wait for everybody else.
Yep.
You know, if you're the best player or the most talented player on the team, and the guy's been carrying your team, it becomes you. And we'll see. That'll be an interesting thing to watch the next few minutes of this game.
Buckner has room, gives it into Burns instead, forces one over the ring for 2.
Baranek is snaking that screen and roll, and Burns is just rolling off him and has 8 points already just on finishes from about a foot away.
Beastly backing down, nowhere to go. Dusha, he's looking to get to the rim. Oh, it's bobbled by Johnson Thompson into the hands of Beastie.
Yeah, he's got to rebound that. You know, young guy, he's got to get that rebound. You know, they play good defense. They force Dusha into a basically
away.
And there's Morcel's big hands again.
Indeed, he's a bit unlucky for a second time.
Yeah, his long arms, big hands. And interesting, now they only got 4 seconds to get the ball over half court now.
Well, they're going to make a change. Let's see, he just gets his hands in there.
And you always want to know is, do they know?
Yeah. A lot of pressure from Plymouth to make it hard for them. Well, that's the easiest way of getting it over in 4 seconds. They nearly turned it over. Here's Anderson, he gets all the way to the rim and finishes.
Nice little hesitation play there by Brandon Anderson. No, he is a talented point guard, and any team in this league without him for 7 weeks is going to miss him. I think Coach Newby's probably done the right thing in letting him get back into the game gradually and bringing him in with 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. It always helps when your teammates have set you off on a path whereby you've got to stick it. You've got to perform, otherwise you're letting them down.
30 points in the first quarter for the Wolves. Here's Dusha. Across to Beastie, driving in hard, blocked by
great defense from Johnson Thompson. Beastie's doing the right thing, he's trying to attack the rim, but that's not really his game either. So Johnson Thompson's able to use his superior athleticism to get a hand on that and defend without fouling.
Ticking it down here, last few seconds. Anderson.
That's a foul.
It's not called though. McGill, he wants a foul at the half, and there is nothing in there.
I'm not impressed with the lack of a call there for Anderson. I thought he may have got fouled twice. The one on the half court you're never sure about.
Well, a very good start to the ball game. Here's another look at that last heat.
I'm not calling that. He's moving backwards. He's got his hands straight up.
But 30 points in this quarter for the Worcester Wolves, a tremendous piece of scoring, and they've kept the Raiders down to only 14 as well, so they've done it at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, their offense is obviously impressive to put up 30, and they've got shots at the rim, which is, you know, we've seen in the 4 games here that, you know, if you rely on the 3-point shot, unless basically you're London and you've got Dirk Williams, the 3-point shot will come and go, but getting to the rim in the playoffs is the key, and they've done that.
Well, it's only the 5th time this season they've managed to put 30 on the board in a single quarter, but what a time to do it here in the...
Well, they have 18 points in the paint. Worcester have 18 points in the paint. Plymouth have 14 points in the game.
Well, it's all been dunks, hasn't it? They've got to the rim and they just keep jamming it home. But as we've seen in these first leg games over the last few days here, having a big lead is one thing, sustaining it is another. We saw Newcastle up 17, they only won by 2. London up 17, they were 1 behind with 4 minutes to go in that game. Getting a big lead doesn't guarantee you anything early on.
It certainly doesn't, but I have to say that that was probably the most dominant quarter by any one team that we've seen in the 4 games. I can't think of...
Leicester's third quarter?
Yes, okay. I'll let you off. The second most dominant quarter. The most dominant first quarter. I'll keep digging. Let me keep digging.
I'll give you that one.
And it's surprising. So Brandon Anderson sitting down again. He's just kind of been dipped in the game and dipped out of the game again. Henry Wilkins is coming again. Mike Morsell hasn't got going yet. He's a big scorer for Plymouth.
And it's stolen away by Barnett. Can he keep it in play? No, he can't.
You love that athleticism and that commitment from Barnett to get in the passing lane, not just to let Dusha catch the basketball. You know. This is important for Plymouth. They need Dusha to be able to create off the dribble. Oh, he's got to shoot that.
He's got to shoot that, yeah. He's wide open, he knocks it down.
That's what I'm saying, you can't do it. He's a 37% 3-point shooter, he's a 37% 2-point shooter. You can't just ignore him. Yes, he wants to pass the basketball, but the fact that he's so effective is because he can shoot the ball, probably now better than he ever has before.
Lobs up the alley-oop, and it's thrown down by Jordan Williams.
Okay, Plymouth's perimeter defense is getting into crisis mode at the moment. There was just no resistance to Bowneck on that drive at all. I'm not sure what their scheme is.
Morsell for 3. Beastie with the offensive rebound.
2 boards.
Brian's called for the foul.
Yeah, Burns has to kind of put his body on the line here. He bailed Morsell out there. He's got a charge situation there, and he kind of just clips him and gives him the opportunity of an L1.
Didn't go in.
No, the opportunity of one.
Oh, there,
sorry.
Yeah.
The Beastie's given them some energy. 2 or 3 offensive rebounds and hustle plays. You know, sometimes it can be that, like it was a Marsden in the last game.
Yeah.
It's the unheralded guys who step up and actually, you know, get their team ticking over.
Stolen away. Hamilton has it.
Exactly what Bowneck did the last time.
Bowneck trying to force him into it. It's going to be an offensive foul. Caught him with the elbow.
Yeah, great defense by Bowneck. Getting back, he made the mistake, but he got back. And Ashley Hamilton is flirting with the technical, yeah?
It's a great defensive play by him in the first place, but if you watch here, as the arm swings out, just
to probably the top of the net. Not much, but he tried to create space with it, and he's in a double team situation.
Bowneck. Shot clock getting low. Drives into trouble, gets it away. It's a travel. Wave it off.
I'm not sure it was a travel. It looked like a jump stop to me. That's what Bowneck is saying as well. I think me and Martin might be on the same page on that one.
Dusha for another 3. Knocks it down.
See, if you go under the screen on Dusha too many times, eventually he's going to make you pay. So they're going to have to change their coverage a little bit on that. That's 2 now.
Beastie putting the pressure on but committing the foul.
Yeah, but that's a foul you like because he's showing aggressive intent. So at the moment, the Plymouth bench has actually kind of rescued them in this game with Beastie and Dusha. He's down to 10.
Kimball loses it. Comes
Nice
back
pass.
to back. Yeah. Got to go quick here, Williams. To the hook. Just short.
Yeah, no, suddenly the energy's just picked up with Plymouth.
Foul called off the ball. Wilkins on Morcell.
Morcell's very good at that. He looks to duck in at the paint if he's got a smaller guy on him, and to be honest, you don't even have to be smaller in height. If you're smaller in width or smaller with the length of the arms, he will get his body there and finish. So Wilkins has got a really tough matchup.
Beastie for three. He's a good three-point shooter. You can't lose him.
41%, and he's really made a difference in this basketball game for them. We might be seeing Brandon Anderson in Swiggen again soon.
Well, the lead is down to 7. Kimball trying to stretch it. He hits a triple. It's out to 10 again.
All season, Lamar Kimball has made big shots for Worcester. That's a big one because of the momentum change it prevents.
Morcell looking to attack the smaller man. Hamilton with the rebound, and it's out of bounds for a Plymouth ball.
Morcell's getting a little bit frustrated. He's 0-7 from the field, and he has to keep being aggressive and hoping that the game will come for him.
Here's Morcell now looking to back down. Kicks out to Hamilton, who lets fly the triple, and he hits from behind the arc.
That's what Ashley Hamilton can do. He's effectively the centre in this lineup, but he's a stretch 5, and he can step right out there and make that shot. So now we have a 7-point game.
Offensive foul there on Wilkins, and Morcell just turned and had a little word with him. Beastie being smart there and getting in the way and walking him away.
Yeah, I mean, that's another one who's flirting with a technical there. He got a little elbow to where it hurts, I think, and
lower midriff.
Indeed, sorry, I'm a bit naive to these technical explanations on television for such things.
The timeout call by the Wolves. Their lead is down to 7, but more than that, you just feel a little shift towards Plymouth in terms of the momentum of the game.
Yeah, and it's their bench. I mean, it's obviously Dusha, Ryan Beastie, and Ashley Hamilton really caused the turnaround in this game. Worcester still have to be comfortable where they're at, though, because it was, be pie in the sky to suggest that Plymouth wouldn't have a run.
Yeah,
so it was always going to come. The question is, can they withstand it?
Well, we've seen the top 4 seeds in the first 3 games have all won so far. They've all led for much of the contest in which they've played as well. This one going against the seeding in the first 13 minutes.
Yeah, Plymouth on an 11-2 run in the last 2 minutes 40 seconds, so the test of a team in the playoffs is how well they withstand runs. Let's see how they do. Kind of small ball at the moment with both teams playing with stretch centres.
McGill down the lane getting all the way to the rack.
And there's no rim protection there for Worcester at all. So
here's Williams spinning one way. Hamilton trying to knock it loose from him. Williams shakes him off, but doesn't make the basket.
that was all about Beastie's help again. He wasn't just watching Williams go to work. He got himself there to change the shot.
Hamilton looking to find a way around Williams, tipped in by Morcell.
And you see that time Hamilton was able to go to work without any help from Worcester, and that gave Morcell the opportunity to get on the offensive glass.
First field goal of the game for him. There's a hole by Dusha.
Yeah, this is a real test for Worcester because they've come out flying and they've had their energy kind of taken away from them by Plymouth. It's a test of their character now as to whether they've got the ability in them to kind of go back on another run.
Wigan. Burns spinning strong off the glass. Good finish.
Yeah, it's a great move, and it's getting the ball to a guy who's got a mismatch, because Burns will fancy his opportunities to take Beastie off the dribble, and he made a nice move there and did what he needed to do.
Here's McGill.
But McGill sees Kimball and he thinks exactly the same.
Yeah. Substitutions both ways as Anderson comes back and Sentence into the game for the first time.
Yeah, Dush has really had a positive impact in this game, you know, for Plymouth. Unfussy, unspectacular, but he frees up the other guys to do what they do.
Bountner just lost the ball for a second. Morcell turning up the heat. He gets across the line in time, and then Morcell drawn into the foul, and a little bit of afters there.
Yeah, this game's probably got a little bit more in it than probably the other games that we've seen in relation to kind of touchiness and a little bit of attitude, you'd say. Probably starts with Worcester dunking the ball all over Plymouth in the first quarter, and now Plymouth are quite naturally responding and showing why they're third in the league.
Anderson throws it up, and I wonder if they'll give him shots for that, because he threw it over the backboard. They're going to have a little chat as they walk past, and it will be an end-line ball.
Yeah, I think he got... I'm cool with that call. I think he got bumped. It's team fouls anyway, doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. They did have a conversation about it, said it was on the floor.
Well, that's called a diplomatic refereeing call, because Paul James can't be upset with it because they've called it on the floor.
Yeah.
And Matt Newby isn't upset with it because he gets 2 shots anyway.
Anderson wasn't quite ready. Tipped away by Hamilton.
So now McGill becomes the setup guy.
Or does he? He goes all the way on his own.
He's conning him. He's great. He's looked one way and he's conned them into believing he was the setup guy, and he's used acceleration. Great job by Ricky McGill. That's perfect BBL point guard play.
Here's Anderson, slips, trying to dive back there. Plymouth players on the floor though, and the Raiders come away with it. Here's Hamilton, attacks, puts it up high off the glass, and cuts the Worcester lead down to a point.
Doing a lot of talking as well, you know. And we thought there was a foul there. Burns likes that matchup.
But he can't make it count for points. Sentence out to McGill. McGill goes hard. Well defended in the end, and McGill gets the foul on the rebound.
Yeah, and that's two fouls now in the penalty, and there's... I have to say, in the 4 games that we've watched in here over the past 2 days, there's been a commendable lack of technicals. The stuff that would have been called as technicals in the regular season, I don't know if there's a memo gone out or something, but it's not being called today. Or indeed yesterday.
This game has a feel like there will be one before the 40 minutes is up.
Yeah, the over-under is about 3, I think, at the moment.
Jordan Williams.
3 technicals, 1 unsportsmanlike in a fight. Well, let's see. It's got an edge to it. I'm enjoying this game.
McGill.
He's in go mode now.
He is. He kicks out to Morcell for 3, in and out. Beastie again on the glass. McGill for the triple is good, and the game is tied.
The amount of offensive rebounds which result in 3s, you know, it is just an incredible difference maker in the game. dribbling now for Worcester. You see, they're not running anything.
They turn it over, and Plymouth have a chance for their first lead of the game. McGill's going to take it.
Oh, it's good that he's in goal mode, though. He knows it's his time now, and you're happy with him taking that shot. He has to stay aggressive.
Williams back to Burns. Burns! Oh my goodness! Elijah Burns hammers down the jam.
I'm not sure. Elliot Sentence is in the poster there, I think. Dear me, he didn't get himself outside the paint. He's not sure whether to step forward or backwards, and he just gets dunked on out. Dear me, wow. And a little bit of a shimmy. That's 3 or 4 times where Jordan Williams got the ball in the post and he's been able to hit Elijah Burns cutting to the rim. I don't think we've seen that from Burns much this year either.
No, I haven't.
It's kind of nice to know he's got it.
He can't convert the 3-point play though.
Get one for the shimmy maybe?
Yeah. Hamilton to the spin, loses his feet. Marcel trying to force it in.
Offensive rebound. Good defense by Burns.
Boutneck out to Anderson. Takes it to the hole.
Another shot of a guy who hasn't quite got his steps right from not playing for a while.
Oh, Sentence got up in the air and then was trying to make his mind up what to do. The deflection will see Plymouth keep the ball.
I really like Plymouth with Dusher in the game. I think I'll be getting him back in the game quite soon if I could.
Marcel will leave the play as Neighbour comes in.
First time he's sat down, I think. So
it is.
So Beastie now moves to the 3, I think.
Hamilton taking it. Oh, doesn't get the bounce, but another offensive rebound. 17 second chance points for the Plymouth Raiders.
And that's what's kept them in the game, and it started with Ryan Beastie early on when they were really struggling, and it's now kind of spread by osmosis throughout the team, and you've got them all crashing opportunistically. And that was McGill there making a good play.
Anderson back out to Boutneck, who will shoot the 3, and he will hit it.
44% 3-point shooter, Martin Boutneck. Nice play by Brandon Anderson to throw the ball out to him though. A lot of spacing from Plymouth here.
No rebounding this time.
Bit of a bailout shot though. He probably wants some ball reversal before he shoots that one.
Anderson leaves Sentence on the floor but throws it away.
I think he might have pushed him on the floor actually. It looked like there may have been a bit of contact there which was worthy of an offensive foul. Let's have a look. Oh, he didn't see it. Got to try and finish that at the rim though, Brandon Anderson. Again, that's a little bit about not being in the rhythm of the game.
Beastie feeding it to Neighbour to the hook.
Yeah, that's Will Neighbour's move. You've got to keep him out of the basket. He started off very slow in this game, so PJ will hope that the next couple of minutes he can get him going, which will set him up well for the third quarter.
Anderson, Johnson Thompson just gets the bounce.
Yeah, good finish by the young fella there. Cut to the basket and a bit of composure. Gets the ball up on the rim, it drops in. Friendly Newcastle rims. He's all right.
McGill splits through the defense all the way to the basket. Ricky McGill.
Yeah, it's Crandall-esque. That is. The 3 moves in one, getting him a left-hand lay when he's a right-handed shooter. That's a high-level move by Ricky McGill.
Last few seconds here of the first half. Wolves by 1, looking to extend that. Anderson.
Yeah, that's a foul.
That's foul by Sentence.
It's not a matchup that Plymouth will really be happy with, I don't think. I'm not sure why he's guarding him there. Sentence is kind of playing the 2, which means that he has to guard either Baunecht or Anderson.
Doesn't make the first. Second one wipes his feet, and Paul James is going to draw up a play for these last 6.2 seconds to try and get his team a score to either tie or potentially take the lead. They've been behind the whole of this first half by as many as 16, but they will have a shot to at least level the game.
Yeah, 32-point second quarter for Plymouth off the back of offensive rebounds, and Ricky McGill stepping up. He has 15 points. Hasn't stepped foot off the court yet on 6 of 10 shooting. It's interesting calling a timeout when the ball's on the baseline, because it's very difficult to know how the defense is going to guard you to set anything up. You really want to get your right personnel in the game, probably have a couple of shooters in the corners and get the ball into your most explosive player and allow him to make a play. One thing it does do is it allows you to have your players anywhere you want in the court, whereas if they're just taking it in from inbounds, someone like Will Neighbour or Ryan Beastie, they'd be trailing and they wouldn't necessarily be in a position where they could set up.
Well, the Wolves may come out with some full court pressure as well now that they consider it.
It's like Toli Rikiki's coming in the game for 6.2 seconds of defense. I think he'll be in the game to try and deny Ricky McGill the ball, but the danger is that they're not over. No, he's not. He's guarding Sentence. The danger is that you're over aggressive, and you only play 6 seconds. You're over aggressive, you commit a foul, and the team's in the penalty.
Yeah. Need to get it in.
Get into Ashley Halton.
His Sentence fires up the 3, misses, and that will do it. I don't think that's in time.
I don't think it was in time next week.
That will do it for a seesaw first half. Well, they really came out of the blocks, the Worcester Wolves. They got themselves 16 points ahead, but Plymouth, thanks to some great offensive rebounding, some super hustle as well from Beastie and excellent shooting from Dusha, got themselves back in this game. It's a 2-point game at the half.
Yeah, both teams actually will be relatively happy with the game, because Worcester would have worried, having played them, that they wouldn't be competitive and that they'd get blown out. And in the first leg, you want to stay close, so they'll be happy that they're there. PJ will be very happy with the way that Plymouth have responded. But it was his bench unit. Porter Button hasn't come back into the game. Neighbour's only played 7 minutes. Ocherobi hasn't come back in the game. So, it's a bench unit that's really turned this around with their spacing and their shooting. And, a lot of that goes to LBC Dusha. But look at Ryan Beastie, 14 minutes, 5 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists.
And a +11 on the plus minus.
+11. That is, again, priceless in the playoffs. Priceless in any game, but it's particularly priceless in the playoffs. And interesting to see how we go in the second half now. There's a chance I'm not sure these two teams will be on talking terms by the time they get to Worcester.
No, indeed. And that's the other thing, because it is neutral venues, sort of, but Worcester is the venue for the second leg, so the Wolves will be in familiar surroundings for that second leg, and therefore, anything close enough is a good position for them.
And I mean, the other thing you have to think from Worcester's perspective is that it's another game. It's a game that Anderson's played, so he gets to play another game 2 days later, and he will be better in the second game than he was today in the first game. So yeah, I don't think they're overly disappointed at the moment. I think the graphic there has Plymouth up by 2, but in fact Worcester's up by 2.
Indeed, it is Plymouth 46, Worcester 48. We're going to take a little pause, and we will be back with second half action in a few minutes' time. the Raiders trailed the Wolves by 2 at the half. They had been down by as many as 16. Well, if we look back, one of the reasons that the Raiders got back into this game was the offensive explosion of Ricky McGill. As you put it, he realized it was his time to go. His team needed him, and he delivered.
Yeah, he has a switch, doesn't he? And that's why Paul James doesn't like to take him out of the basketball game, because he can go, and 15 points in 20 minutes, the vast majority of those points came in the second quarter. Really impacted the game. It's not just the points he scores, it's how he gets them. He gets them at the rim, he gets them easily. You know, he looks like he's playing at a slightly different speed and cadence to the rest of the guys on the court. And him with when Dusha comes in and he gets to move to the 2-guard spot, you know, and they've got a lot of spacing on the court. You know, that really gives him the green light to go. He's comfortable in that role now, and that's really helped them.
And at the other end of the floor, one of the guys who really helped them, Elijah Burns, so efficient in his scoring as they built that early lead.
Absolutely, playing with great energy and aggression and attacking the rim. Again, they probably haven't played through Jordan Williams enough in the first half. When they have, he's got a really nice link up with Burns, but Burns is 7 of 9, 14 points, and really impacting the game positively. And they are a big guy down. Obviously, they're big American. Mike Parks has had to go home, so they are playing on demand.
And that was one of the challenges we wondered about them in the beginning, and obviously that was the highlight of the game. How they would cope, because obviously Parks he got injured only a few weeks ago, and you've got to make that adjustment. But I suppose with eBay leaving the Raiders, that it sort of negated it a little bit.
It does, but the Raiders have a little bit more depth. You know, the Wolves' third big is Daniel Johnson-Thompson, who's a talented young player, but you know, he's unproven in the playoffs and hasn't actually played that many minutes in the league this year, having come back from injury himself. So that's if you were Plymouth, you would consider that to be a point of weakness that you could exploit. You know, the third big for Plymouth coming off the bench is actually Hamilton. And there's a significant difference in their both experiences and their pedigrees. Jordan Williams, though, remains, I think, the key in this basketball game. He has 4 points, 8 of rebounds and 5 assists. You know, so he's on triple-double pace, basically, without looking like he's actually particularly dominated the basketball game. And, you know, he is the guy that Worcester are going to have to play through more and more as their guards begin to get a little bit more worn down by the Plymouth guards.
Teams heading back out onto court as we get ready to get things underway in the second half of the first leg of the fourth quarter-final of the British Basketball League Playoffs 2021.
Yeah, Paul James isn't messing about. Ashley Hamilton, in the process of continually complaining to another referee, but he's starting the third quarter, and Ocharobia is, and Dusha is. So he's starting his best lineup. He's not messing around.
Great block by Morcell. Here is Hamilton. Morcell on the trail, gets into the paint. Probably didn't need to hesitate there.
No, he didn't. I really like this adjustment by Paul James. I think it's a brave move, but coaches don't like to change it.
Nice from Kimball attacking the basket.
Yeah, coaches don't like to change their starting rotations at half time. I think it's the right move. That said, that's a great play by Lamar Kimball. Got the contact from Ocharobia at the rim there, just created enough contact and finished the play.
Well, Porter Bunton obviously had that shoulder problem. He's not come back in after that. Will Neighbour hasn't really played that much in the first half after they got behind big.
That's
Those
right.
are the two changes.
Yeah, he's putting his main guys on the court.
Dusha down to Ocharobia. He didn't play very much in the first half either, to be honest with you. Burns keeps it in bounds.
But Mike Ocharobia's a guy you're going to get something of. He's going to not give you anything negative in the game. He's going to do his job, so you can always get him in for some minutes. And he's got the job as guarding Jordan Williams.
Not the easiest job in the world. Here's McSwiggan in the corner for three, off the mark, and did that come off Dusha? There's still 1.7 on the shot clock.
Not the easiest job in the world, but he managed to close him out there and force him to chuck a hard pass to the corner. So it was an excellent defensive job by Mike Ocherovia on Jordan Williams. Martin Barron shooting that.
And he hits nothing, and that'll be a shot clock violation.
Yeah, I think he thought he was fouled. Not sure he was. But I think, to be fair, everybody in this game thinks they're being fouled. I think we need to stop going off the players' reactions to this and just call it as the ref says.
Dusha. McGill. Is that worth 3? It's short either way.
Yeah, kind of a static offense there. If you're Worcester, you like the tempo that Plymouth's offense has started at. Oh, you don't reach there.
Turns! Oh! He goes over Ocherovia to throw it in.
Wow, you don't like the reach, and that gave Jordan Williams a line to the basket and a straight line drive. He is a dominant player.
Ocherovia trying to answer back at the other end.
Nice move, you see. Not as spectacular, but it counts for 2.
Yeah, they both get the same value at the end. Kimbo. Wow, tough one.
He makes more tough shots than just about anybody in the league. You know, he hangs in the air there. The ball was tapped, but he still manages to get the right rotation on it. Now McGill's coming straight back at him.
Ocherovia with the mismatch, but he spun too deep.
Yeah, Kimball did a great job. He pulled the chair off him there, and Mike Ocherovia just spun too far.
Oh, Kimball, tough one. Burns with the rebound. Well, they're in an awkward spot here with 2 guys in the same part of the floor.
Nice job to get out of it.
McSwiggan with the mid-range.
Oh, great job by
McSwiggan. And Jordan Williams says thank you very much.
Yeah, it's a young guy who missed the shot, but he didn't wait on it, he didn't sulk about it, he got back, he caught Ashley Hamilton on the blind side, took the basketball off and made a smart pass. Great job by Josh McSwiggan. He's a plus 17 in this game at the moment.
Morcell for 3, knocks it down.
Yeah, they needed that one, I think.
Well, the Wolves had scored 9 of the first 7 of the first 9 of the first 11. I'll get there in the end.
And Mike Morcell was 1 of 9 up to that shot, so that was a big shot for him.
I think the one was a tip in as well.
Yeah.
Ooh, I thought Morcell might just get there with those long hands. There's Williams. Shot clock being counted down. He used all 24 to get that away.
Again, remarkable dexterity from Kimball there. In the shot clock, he's undersized, he fakes, he takes a left-hand dribble, he goes up and moves, brings the ball out to his right. And I'm just describing what's on the telly, but it's still a great play. Not sure how much contact there was, but there was enough to send him flying, so he gets 2 foul shots.
Dusha from underneath that got called for the foul. That's his 3rd.
It's interesting.
No movement on the Plymouth benches yet.
It's interesting because last time down, Dusha was guarding McSwiggan, and McSwiggan's a shooter, but you wonder if they might want to try and post McSwiggan up, or if he's got that in his game to try and put Dusha under some pressure with his 3 fouls. Will Neighbours in the game for Mike Ocherovia now, so Paul James is going to his stretch lineup with his 5 shooters on the court.
And here is Neighbour looking to shoot. You've got to get out to him.
And that's the benefit of the stretch lineup. Somebody's got to go and guard them. Now that's a coaching adjustment which has worked almost immediately.
See, Burns was so late because he's been
guarding Ocherovia,
who isn't taking that shot. Oh, that somehow got to McSwiggan.
Yeah, it was great defense by Will Neighbour. He stayed tall, he stayed big, he got a hand on the basketball, but McSwiggan's cutting, he's getting in the areas where he needs to get to, and credit to him. Oh, that's an offensive foul, yeah. No, it's not, it's called on Kimball. It must have been the first call, the hold first, and then Hamilton pushed up with his arm, so I called the second one.
Burns, who's Burns comes out of the game as Johnson Thompson checks in.
We'll hope that Johnson Thompson can get out to neighbour a bit quicker with his extra athleticism. Switch.
Morcell.
See, Morcell has the switch with Kimball on him there, and that's a bit of a bailout shot. He's got size. If they move the ball.
Boutneck. Kimball. Ooh, just a bit short. Don't know if somebody got a touch
defense.
on it.
Good defense.
Lob to Morcell, who does well just to catch that. Hamilton driving hard to the hole, but
Good job by
finish. Morcell's just knocked Kimball to the floor.
Yeah, it's a great job by Johnson Thompson to stay with Hamilton and without fouling him and force him to miss a shot. That's the hardest cover in the game for a forward.
Oh, there's our first technical. Who was that technical on? 0. So it must be Ricky McGill.
No.
He must have said something at the other end of the floor. Well,
2 more to go.
Yeah, 2 more to go. You're right. We did call it. Oh, that was the one where he missed. The foul is coming there. He just sort of threw him to the ground. And then there was a technical for McGill for verbals. Boutneck has made the foul shot for the technical, so we go back to where the ball was, and it'll be a Wolves possession.
Williams just discarded Dusha there in the post.
Well, he's discarded bigger. Great defense from Hamilton to deny. Oh, Johnson Thompson has some space and throws it up high.
Arcing floater from the big fella. Great job. Good job by McSwiggan again, playing the beastie role and getting the extra possession for his team. It's a great battle between Williams and Hamilton. It's fun to watch.
There's 2 very strong players going against each other.
The shirt then.
It looked like a foul from behind, but the referee was happy with everything.
Oh, and a bounce.
Don't know how they've kept the ball there, the Wolves.
It's good.
McSwiggan batted away by Dusha.
This game is heating up. It's really impressive. Oh, hang on. No. So McSwiggan there had Dusha on him. You'd like him just to rise up and shoot that shot. There, you just shoot that shot, Josh. He's made 2 or 3. It's good defense by obviously Dusha. He gets his foot to the baseline, which doesn't let Josh McSwiggan get there. He takes enough of the contact in the chest, so he's not going to get called for a foul.
Lost there by Kimball.
Yeah, Will Neighbour's length is troubling him there. He's really active defensively and being the extra guy. Now we got a timeout, and we got
timeout called by Matt Newby and the Worcester Wolves. They've done well here in the second half. You wondered how they would respond, having seen that lead disappear at half-time, but they've come out in the third and built it back up to 9.
Yeah, if you were looking at both teams, you would say that Plymouth are a little bit more on the edge than Worcester at the moment, just in their body language and in their composure. And it's an interesting read of that. It's not worked out, I think, the way that Plymouth thought it would, and it's really a test of their character in relation just to getting down, playing basketball, making plays. And emotion can carry you a long way, but it can't carry you all the way, not in the playoffs. You have to attach it to discipline, and you have to attach it to appropriate fear of the opposition and an understanding that you're not always going to get your own way, and you're not always going to be beating teams by 20, and the playoffs are a different animal. Sorry, that's a cliche.
It's a cliche for a reason, though, because it is different out there.
Yeah.
Teams making their way back out. The Raiders ball from the side.
Beastie's now back in the game, so they're going big with him playing the 3 spot and Morcell at the 2. Look for Morcell to...
McGill going to work. Backing down, kicks out to Mike Morcell. Misses the 3. Neighbour trying to keep it alive.
Good job by Johnson Thompson again. This young fella's playing great in this game.
Anderson dumps it off to Johnson Thompson and off the
finishing
glass.
with the left hand, using the backboard as well. Fantastic job.
Good minutes from him for Coach Newby. Here's Morcell looking to use his size and strength.
That's what I was trying to say last time down. Look for Morcell to take Kimball down low, because that's a tough matchup for Kimball.
Does Kimball go back at him? McSwiggan for 3. Off the mark. Good hand from Beasley to make it difficult.
Yeah, not quite a rhythm shot there for Josh McSwiggan. He is a really, really good rhythm shooter. That time he was slightly off balance as he shot it. So now Bownek's coming in. He's going to have a go at guarding Morcell.
I don't think Morcell's attitude will change any.
It shouldn't. They're doing a little duck-in play where the ball goes to Hamilton at the top of the key and the elbow, and Morcell then kind of ducks into the post for a quick dipping pass. They're not running it this time.
No, they go into Hamilton, who jams it home.
Taught Johnson Thompson nothing there. High screen and roll with McGill.
Oh, what a pass! Super assist from Jordan Williams.
Good catch, because he's 6'8", Daniel Johnson Thompson. He's caught the basketball and he's finished it at the rim.
Gill gets his own rebound and puts it back in.
That's a great job again. Great job by Johnson Thompson.
Another
and
technical.
Number 2. There we go. It's a great job by Johnson Thompson. Unfortunately, none of his teammates could clean up the rebound, but you like that defense.
I think it was on the bench. Well, the one thing you would say about Plymouth, their bench is loud and demonstrative, and they did get a warning early in the game for somebody jumping up, so I'm guessing there was something similar this time as well.
Yeah, there's a time to be loud, though, isn't there?
Yep.
In the first quarter, nothing's been called. The refs are now looking out for it, so it's only a 1 foul shot. But you want to keep the emotional stability of your team if you can at this point. It's a long basketball game. 80 minutes.
McSwiggan driving hard. Hamilton with the rebound, kicks it out. Numbers here. Here's McGill. Easy lay-in.
Yeah, that comes from Hamilton's ability to rebound the ball and then put it on the ground to make a play for his teammates, and he becomes a point guard, and the two guards become the wing runners, and 2-on-1 converted very, very well.
Oh, that's a push-off. Boutneck just shoving McGill to the floor.
Yeah, I thought maybe McGill got away with the one a little bit as Bownek turned the corner, and so Bownek didn't get the call the first time, and that's what he's saying to Graham Shaw now. That's definitely an offensive foul.
Well, the thing is, if the referee doesn't call that foul,
That's discipline loss.
You can't then just shove the guy out of the way
No, of
because you
course
didn't get the call you wanted.
No, and that's what we were saying about discipline that works for both teams, Good job by Brian Anderson staying in front of Ricky McGill. So we're saying with both teams, talking about Plymouth discipline, that time Bownek has to remain disciplined. Every possession counts. You can't just give away possessions. And even then, Brandon Anderson's got his hand in the on Ricky McGill, so that could be called as well. The refs are going to have to keep a tight watch on this game, I think.
Anderson behind the back, gets into the lane. Nice.
Wow. It's a guy who hasn't played for 7 weeks. Look out if he gets to play a couple more weeks, he's going to be dangerous.
Here's Hamilton sizing up the 3.
Good job by Neighbour.
Tipping it down, more settling off the glass.
He's playing with another technical there as well, clapping his hands at the ref.
64-69.
Anderson getting all the way.
Will Neighbour didn't quite get there, and he's called for the block.
I think he was inside the no charge circle as well, so even if he was there, he couldn't take the charge.
So, yeah.
So he's definitely inside.
Yeah. It's interesting, you know, we talked in the first half about when McGill decided it was his turn to go in his time, and it looks like Anderson's kind of taking that mantle now. Last 2 or 3 times down, he's been extremely aggressive.
6 missed free throws in the game for the Wolves.
Do without them. So now Akiki comes in, and Akiki is Matt Newby's defensive specialist, so, you know, it's one defensive possession, and he's saying to you, told her Akiki go guard Ricky McGill. It's not the most glamorous job in the league to come in and do that, but he's basically denying McGill the ball. That's what he's trying to do. Ooh. I mean, Ricky McGill's trying to buy a foul.
Yeah, almost turned it over there, Plymouth.
Hamilton and Williams one-on-one.
Hamilton drives in and scores.
Yeah, you'd probably want to close that lane a bit. Again, Hamilton's talking again.
10 seconds to play. Here's Boutneck for the spin. Kicked out. Akiki for 3. Johnson Thompson fighting for it, but the horn will sound. And it is still the Wolves in front by 4 points. And, well, they've actually stretched their lead a little bit in that. They came out really well at the start, and Raiders just reeling them back in as they did in the first half.
Now, this game is close in Worcester on Thursday night. It is going to be an absolute bloodbath.
Yeah.
Because having sat here for 4 games, the amount of on-court animus and talking to everybody, be it the table, be it the refs, be it each other, the players, is just immeasurable in comparison with the other games that we've seen. You know, there is a lot going on in this game, and that's one of the things that's going on. That's Jordan Williams dunking the basketball. But this could end up being the team that's most emotionally stable wins this tie.
Well, 10 minutes still to play here in Newcastle. It's been 4 very good days of playoff action. We started out with the WBBL quarterfinals at the weekend. There was one upset in the 4 games there, with the Newcastle Eagles knocking off the number 2 seed Leicester Raiders. And there have been no upsets in the first leg of the men's quarterfinals so far by seeding, although, as it is, the number 6 seed leads the number 3 seed.
Yeah, interesting. Matt Newby's coming back with Henry Wilkins, who was a minus 13 in the 4 minutes he played in the first half. I don't think it was his fault. He didn't do anything particularly wrong, but it doesn't probably offer the athleticism that McSwiggan offers at that position. And he has Burns back in the game as well.
He just appears to have said something very pleasant to Mike Morsell, which is out of character with the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a cup of tea afterwards, huh?
See what Morsell makes of it now he has the ball.
Kill him with kindness, eh?
Indeed. Beastie fighting his way through the screens.
High screen for McGill and Hamilton.
Oh, it's high for Beastie. Neighbour for 3. Almost banked it in. Ball is up in the air.
That's a great play by Kimball, because he wasn't the favourite to get that rebound, but his effort and his energy took it away from Morsell.
Here's Burns looking to go to work, to the step back at the elbow. Nice.
He has a mid-range game, Elijah Burns, and he does talk. He's communicating a lot to his team defensively. You like the energy that he shows on the court. He's turned it up to play. Oh, McGill's off, yeah.
Beastie in the corner. Batted out by Neighbour.
Long arms from Will Neighbour. Great play by McGill, though, to get that shot. And
McGill now with 3. Knocks it down. 22 points for Ricky McGill.
How many threes do we get off offensive rebounds? Broken record. Kimball and Beastie on him. Kimball will like this matchup.
And Beastie with the foul.
Oh, as good a defense as Beastie can play, I think. I'm not sure. Let's have a look. He hits his chest there. Oh, yeah, hit him on the elbow. Good call.
Well, they've not been automatic from the free throw line today. Kimball is 2 of 3. But in the fourth quarter, in a 4-point game.
He's 64% for the season, so the numbers say he misses this and he goes 3 of 5. Let's see where the numbers take us. The numbers are wrong.
Yeah, have that numbers.
Means we'll probably miss the next one. Here we go. McGill high screen roll with Hamilton again. This
Back
time
to Neighbour for 3.
Oh, you can't do that. That's a travel. You can't do that.
The referee took a moment to think about it and then went, that isn't legal.
Yeah, good job by Josh Bowe, the referee there. You know, sometimes you don't see it immediately, you don't process what you see immediately, but you can't rise up and dribble the basketball and then make a play on it. So good job by the ref.
When he's dropped it, if he leaves it alone for somebody else
fine,
to get,
yeah.
that's okay. But once he tips it himself.
Ashley Hamilton's not guarding Jordan Williams at the 3-point line.
Boutnet getting all the way to the basket. Martin Boutnet.
Yeah, straight line drive from Martin Boutnet. He's very good at snaking around the screens and picking up momentum as he goes. And Worcester back out to 7. Again, mismatch now. Hamilton on Kimball.
Williams is helping.
Good switch.
Really well.
Yeah, good job. Good communication. That's good connectivity by the Wolves there. Little things like that can make a big difference.
Nice screen to free up the shooter. Went after the rebound as well, Williams, but Beastie won that battle. Morcell. Oh, my goodness.
Move by Mike Morcell. Those spidery arms stretching out and flicking the ball over Henry Wilkins. Make it a 5-point game.
I wonder if he might have just banged his knee there as well. He's not moving quite as freely. Boutnet out to Wilkins, throws it away. Neighbour.
Oh, Will Neighbour, shoot that, Will.
Beastie just didn't know. He got up in the air and then he's like,
yeah,
no.
Ashley Hamilton's quite right. He's saying shoot that to Will Neighbour. Shoot it. You know, this isn't a game to worry. This is the first leg of a basketball game. It's every possession. You're a 3-point shot. You open at the 3-point line. Ashley Hamilton's quite right. He's telling Will Neighbour shoot the ball. And Henry Wilkins was the same at this end. He dribbled and penetrated and with nowhere to go. You've got to shoot the ball. You can't be on the court if you're not willing to make plays.
Kimball down to Williams. 5 on the shot clock. Oh, look at the strength.
Yeah. Wow. No, actually, he's just too strong for you there. Can't complain about that one. That's just a good post move.
McGill for the triple.
Oh, in and out. And what's going on there between Williams and Hamilton? There's a bit of
well, the foul has gone against Hamilton. And Beastie again walking his teammate away when he's not happy. There's a couple of times Ryan Beastie's done that. It's a really good teammate to have when you're getting him. There's another technical.
That's a technical for Hamilton, so we've got to our 3.
Well, Beastie walked him away, but he couldn't stop him from talking.
So I think that makes us officially Nostradan and Nostradale. Dear me.
It wasn't the biggest reach from us, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, a brave man would have said 5. Might still get there.
Oh, these free throws, though.
I think they've had 3 different guys shoot the technical foul shots and they've missed them all, from memory.
They definitely missed the last 2. I can't remember the first one. But they've missed 7 in total in a 7-point game. Burns has to come all the way to the 3-point line to get it. Kimball has screens right and left, takes the three, back iron. Dusha rising up for that. Here's McGill, strong off the glass.
Again, that's the same move we saw Fletcher make in the first game. You know, that post. What we got going on here? We got Hamilton and Williams talking. Well, Hamilton's already got a technical, so any more and he's gone.
Yep. And it's a technical on Hamilton. He's finished. His game is over.
Yep.
2 technicals, he's out of the game. Williams, I assume, is going to get one as well. But it doesn't really matter to him because he hasn't got any fouls in the game.
Yeah, double tech.
Well, Williams is arguing it. Just walk away because actually you benefit from that.
Let's have a look.
Let's see if we can see. Look, there's just a little chatter.
The ref's already seen something, hasn't he? Yeah, sorry, Dan.
And it carries on a little bit, and in the end, I know you're not a big fan of the double technical, Dave.
Well, I can understand. Well, it was two guys who are 6'7" of basically squaring up to each other at half court.
Yeah.
You know, then, and we didn't see the beginning of that, but something happened before that because Josh Bowe, the referee, was there.
And Hamilton takes the walk. 2 technical fouls is an automatic disqualification from the game. Now, it doesn't have any impact on the second leg. It's just a disqualification from this game. It's not like an ejection where you can then get a suspension from it. It is just a disqualification, but it's a massive blow to lose a player of the quality of Ashley Hamilton with still 5:43 to go.
Yeah, and it's, you know, these things impact games and they impact playoff series, you know. I can't talk. I didn't see the initial confrontation between the two of them. It's quite clear that the first technical, he's been talking a lot of the game, and the first technical he got was coming. Second one, double technical, you'd have to establish who was at fault, I suppose, but if you're a referee at this point in time, you know, I talked about the second leg being a bloodbath. At this point in time, you're trying to make sure this leg isn't a bloodbath.
Yeah.
Because there's a degree of aggression between these teams, and I'm not, you know, I'm pretty objectively supportive of the way that the refs have dealt with this, because I just don't think they can keep taking this. They let them go in the first half and gave them some rope, and both teams have taken a bit more rope, and eventually, you know, consequences occur.
Indeed. Well, you have to assume now that both teams, if they hadn't quite got it yet, must now understand that they just need to dial it down a little bit.
Absolutely. Jordan Williams, 10 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists in this game at the moment. Spanish screen here, trying to set Wilkins up. Oh, Jordan Williams in the corner.
I don't think it was intended for him, but he caught that well, Wilkins. Trying to tip in his own miss. Boutnet gets the rebound. Off the glass, too strong. Burns is still making a nuisance of himself.
Wow, it's really physical down there. But you love the energy and the effort, and there's McGill.
McGill, look at that. Turns the Jets on. 26 for him.
He needs to have 2 guys with McGill. You have one under the rim and one in front of him. If you only got one, then you don't have a chance of stopping him. It's just too quick and too good. And they're now going to this matchup with Williams and Beastie.
He travelled with it.
Yeah. Jordan Williams just overthinking a little bit there. You know, you want him to take his dribble, get to the front of the rim and just score the ball on Ryan Beastie and show that, you know, okay, Hamilton's gone, I'm here now, who's going to guard me? There's a time for him to facilitate, and there's a time for him to do what he can and finish at the rim. I thought we might be seeing Max Swiggin back quite soon, and Anderson's ready to come in too.
Here's Dusha. Oh, don't go off, neighbour. They got away with one there.
They did. He was just 2 feet outside his range, I think, and they got lucky.
Burns.
They're attacking Beastie. Burns on Beastie now.
Boutnet, good hands. Beatty keeps it alive, but only
no change of possession. 5 seconds.
That's an offensive foul.
You know, Chris brought her buttons over there, doing a lot of dancing for a guy who's stayed 5 minutes. 70-30 offensive foul.
It's one of those where
he didn't really extend his arm that much. You know, he fell down a bit quick.
McGill under pressure, hits it back to Dusha. 5 on the shot clock. Dusha's going to have to shoot. He has to rearrange it. Hits nothing. They can play here.
Good job by Anderson getting the ball out there so they can run. Kimball's wide open.
Burns is actually wide open with the ball in his hands.
They're not matched up at all.
Anderson getting in. Blocked by Beastie. Oh, and he's having a word. Oh, no, he's hurt himself.
To be fair to him, he wasn't.
I thought he was bending over to have a word, but he's struggling to even walk at the minute.
Yeah.
The referee's... Oh, he's moving a bit more freely now, Beastie. I don't know if he's got cramp or something. It looks like he's stretching his hamstring.
Could literally be a last man standing game, couldn't it? You're right, it looked like some trash talking. In fact, his knee just buckled.
Boutnet has it poked away by McGill. McGill almost gets it back.
That's actually a half-court violation that the ref missed there.
Here's McGill at the foul line.
Yeah.
28.
Yeah, McGill established possession in the front court and moved it back.
1 point game with 3 to play. Anderson for 3. Off the mark.
I think you probably need a timeout now if you're Matt Newby. They're in the penalty, you don't want to be bailing them out with them.
Morsell puts Plymouth in the lead for the first time this evening.
Must have still got 2 timeouts.
Lobbed into Williams, and it's stolen away by Beastie. What a game he's having.
Incredible game. He's done everything for his team. He looks knackered as he's coming up the court, but he's earned it.
Morsell for 3, strings it, and the Raiders are on top here with 2 to play.
I'm just really perplexed that we haven't seen the timeout. To be honest, this is, you know, there's a momentum swing in this game, and they're trying to force the ball to Jordan Williams.
Burns to the spin, kicks it out. Burns trying to get the rebound, but it comes in Plymouth's hands. Wolves need to hang on here. Dusha, back to Beastie to Dusha, travelled.
Yeah, Beastie travelled. Paul James is getting angry.
I think he's angry with the travel rather than the call.
Yeah, I think that's right.
That he like we did, sensed that this was the moment. Wolves were just wobbling, and they could win this game by 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, I think
timeout called gives Raiders the Wolves, they've got the ball back, a chance to just come back into this.
Yeah, I think they let that go 2 possessions too long. In a normal game, you want to save your timeout and then give your guys a chance to go through it, and it's a one-off, in a one-off game. But this is a 2-legged game, so every possession matters. And they probably cost themselves 2 or 3 possessions there when Plymouth are clearly in the ascendancy. They've got the momentum going. So now it's a chance to recalibrate on there and just remind your guys that you don't need to get this back in 1 possession. If they go down, they go back to Worcester down 2, they can survive on that, you know. So this is again great help defense by Ryan Beastie. You know, Mike Morsell, he's put a lot of shots in this game, but he is a solid player. I mean, he's high percentage scorer in this league, so eventually he's going to knock him down.
Well, Matt Newby looked like he was going to advance the ball at first and then changed his mind.
Yeah, you know, we talk about plus minuses not often making a big difference in one-off games, but Ryan Beastie is plus 17 in this game.
I got him as plus 24.
Oh, you're miles ahead of me then on my Wi-Fi must not be up to the quality of yours sat 3 feet next to me.
Here's Boutnet. They need a score here, the Wolves.
Yeah.
Anderson.
Oh,
Nice pass. Good challenge. But
again, that's Beastie at the rim making a nice challenge.
Jordan Williams able to lay it in. Morcell gets into the lane, steps underneath, and it rims in for him.
That's Mike Morcell, you know, he is a bona fide scorer. 17 shots for his 18 points. But
Anderson again looking to attack, dumps it to Burns, and again,
Great
Beastie
finish.
does his best, but Burns is able to score.
great finish by Burns.
Here's Dusha. Oh, it's turned
Dusha
over.
looking to pass the ball and instead of attack.
Here's Boutnet.
2 for 1 here for Worcester. If they can get the shot up quick.
Knocked away by McGill.
Probably too late now. $13 on the shot clock.
Here's Anderson. Trying to get through. Again, Beastie making it hard. He's trying to get away. He can't get back up. He throws a shot. Well, the clock is off. They've got one more score here. They need to score. You need the points.
And McGill's slow. McGill's going. McGill is going. Yeah, this is one guy going to shoot this ball, and that is McGill.
And he fires it up. It's on the floor.
Oh, what a smart foul. Just because if he
Just on the floor. Yeah. 2.6.
PJ's got a timeout, doesn't want to use it. He obviously trusts his guys to
Got
run
2
something.
timeouts.
Need to get,
It's in to McGill for 3. Oh, halfway down the heave. It's no good. What a ball game that was. Plymouth Raiders were behind for most of it, but when the buzzer sound, they had the lead. They will take a 2-point advantage to the second leg.
It was a really smart play at the end by Ricky McGill. That was obviously something they've done in practice and knew what was coming, and they caught Worcester absolutely blind with it. It's one of those things, a 2-point game, 5-point game. It don't matter. It's going to be brutal on Thursday night. I think I'll be tuning in for that one.
Yes, whatever happens, I think there's going to be a lot happening in that game. You'll need eyes everywhere. But both teams will come out of this with something to take. The Raiders, the way they fought back in it, having been down big early. The Wolves, the way they built that lead and showed character when they were wobbling a little bit.
Absolutely. I think Worcester take a lot of it more because at the end of the day, you know, I had them as a 92% chance to lose, and they are very much in this tie. And you know, when you're the lower ranked team, if you're in the tie after the first leg, that's when the higher ranked team can start to get the heebie-jeebies and start to worry a little bit, and suddenly their temperament goes. And you know, if Ryan Beastie today, a guy who's been unheralded all season, hasn't played a lot of minutes. And without Ryan Beastie today, the one guy keeping his calm, taking his teammates away and making plays, just playing basketball, as opposed to the other guys who are getting involved in stuff, you know, this could be a very different situation. So again, it's not all about what moves you've got or how many dunks you can make. It's about the plays that you make for your team and your ability to be on the floor.
The other slight weirdness of this tie is that the second leg is at the venue of the lower seed, which doesn't normally happen.
It doesn't, and well, it happened a few times to us actually, because we couldn't get the gym on anything but a Friday night. But it just gave you more motivation for the first leg to try and win it by a lot. It is, and I mean, you know, Worcester. The issue will be with Worcester, is that their best shot? You know, and they can't look. You know, basketball players are, we lost. And they've got to get out of that mentality. They haven't lost. What they've done is set a platform to win. So is that their best shot? Are they going to get games like that out of Daniel Johnson-Thompson, for instance? Will Brandon Anderson be better? Will, you know, Josh McSwiggan go off like he did? You know, or will Plymouth come out the way they've done previously against Worcester and and blow them away early, because that could happen.
Well, let's hear from one man who was out there for every second of the game. Another great performance from Ricky McGill. Ricky, a 2-point game in the end. What do you make of that result?
We just had to come out and grind it out, man. I mean, we started sluggish in the first quarter, the first half, and then we just had to come out and try and get a win. That's what we did.
And the way Worcester came out as well, 30 points in that first quarter, they really came out swinging.
Yeah, they came out with their best shot. I mean, they're a good team. I mean, once they get going, it's kind of hard for teams to come back. I mean, we just had to sit down on defense and get stops and just play Plymouth basketball.
It looked like a real physical battle out there as well.
Yeah, it definitely was a physical battle today. I mean, we just got to keep our head, like I said, and just play Plymouth basketball.
And in this aggregate system, 2 points is really nothing. You just got to go out and win that second leg.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we're going to come out and give it our all for the next game.
Good luck in the second leg. Thanks for talking to us.
Yeah.
Well, a tremendous performance from him again. 28 points, and as I say, he played the full 40 minutes for them.
Yeah, he's reached that point whereby, you can't be brought off the court for this team, particularly when, Porter Button got injured early, so, they need his ability to score off the dribble and get them easy points in transition, and he really is, he's half-season MVP, if not the full-season MVP. He's in the top 4 for a half-season MVP.
Well, phenomenal performance as well. Shooting at 57% and 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals as well. But as you say, he gets to the basket so well. It's so hard to stay in front of him.
It is. It's because he's actually moves as fast dribbling to his weak hand to his left as he does to his right. You see, he's setting up his left hand there. That to go to your wrong hand at that speed and to be able to come back to finish to your right, it becomes very difficult to defend.
Well, let's hear from the winning coach. Paul James is down courtside, and PJ, an awful lot going on out there. What was your assessment of the game?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't think we gave the best version of ourselves tonight. We allowed the officials to kind of take us out of our rhythm a little bit. Foul count was interesting. But I thought Worcester did a great job. I thought they came with some new plays and they really got after us. And it's the first time in a long while that teams really got after us. So we weren't really used to that. But we showed some grit to come out and have a slender 2-point lead.
Yeah, I mean, they came out in the game, started really hot, 30 points in that first quarter. Unusual for you to concede 30 points. They got a 16-point lead, but your team showed character to drag yourselves back in.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't had to do that for a while, and we've been saying we've been looking for a game, and Worcester certainly gave us a game tonight, and we showed some mettle to fight through all the adversity that was going on out there, the tease and all that sort of stuff. We've got to sort of manage our emotions much better on Thursday, but this game sets up beautifully now for Thursday.
And it's easy for us to talk about McGill or Marcel, but a word for Ryan Beast, who plays 29 minutes, scores 5 points, but he's a plus 22 on the plus minus. A tremendous performance out there from him.
Yeah, I mean, he's an unbelievable player, and actually, I've said to him, I've done him wrong all season long, really, because every time I put him on the floor, he hasn't disappointed. Just coming off a bit of a calf injury, but I thought he was tremendous tonight and instrumental in just coming out and giving us some defense, giving us some offense, and being a bit of a glue guy.
And a 2-point lead, obviously, sort of on the road, really, in the second leg. You've just got to go into that building, forget about those 2 points and win the game.
For sure, and we set out to say, look, we just want to go and win both games. So we've won, the first task is done. We've got to go there Thursday and just win the game. Just to try and win the game, forget about the 2 points. We just want to go out and win that game. Good
luck, we'll see you down there on Thursday.
Thanks, Daniel.
Well, poor James there, as he said, he sort of laughed at that first question, that there was a lot going on there. I think he would have liked to say a bit more, but probably wise not to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's very tough because when you're in the emotion of a playoff game like that and you're coaching, you see everything, but you see everything from, you're managing your guys, you're managing their guys, you're managing the refs, and you need to watch the tape back. You need to sit down and actually construct and dissect what's actually happened on the video to figure it out exactly what's going on, because in a game like that you can't see everything. But I thought he was spot on. The foul count was a bit heavy Plymouth's way. 3 of them are technicals, or 4 of them are technicals, so what he said about managing emotions was absolutely spot on. And Paul's been around for as long as any of us, and coaching for as long as any of us, and he well knows how to manage these games. And you don't want to ever take the edge away from your players, but you also want to control your players, and it's that knife edge that Plymouth have to just kind of work with. And he rode with his guys. Morcell made some plays down the end, despite the fact he was 1 of 10 at one point. And Beastie stepped up to take the role at Hamilton when Hamilton left, and they're a together unit. They're a tough unit. There's kind of a little bit of us against the world about Plymouth, and that's not a bad thing. As a coach, you kind of want to just develop that a little bit, and take it further forward. And they've won a lot of games since Christmas.
They certainly have. Let's hear from the Wolves coach, Matt Newby. Matt, a 2-point defeat. How do you assess the performance of your team in that game?
Well, a lot of people, and maybe the commentators, will say, they didn't expect that. Maybe people would say we shouldn't be close to that team, but I think we proved that tonight. And the reality is, if we handle business in the first half, we're probably in a far better position in the second half. I think they had 17 points born of offensive glass in the first half, another double-digit amount of points from turnovers. So we handle that, and then we're in control of the game, rather than it being a 2-point game at our half, and it ends up being a 2-point game at the close.
And it looked pretty feisty out there. You got to try and keep the tempers under fray. There were obviously Plymouth got a lot of technicals in that game. You were trying to keep your guys calm to avoid that. I
mean, it's playoff basketball at the end of the day. Everybody wants to advance, and everybody wants to be in control of the second leg. And credit to Plymouth, they've got a bit of bite about them. I think we showed the same amount of bite, maybe a little bit of composure at certain junctures, but you want teams to be at that level at this period of the year.
And obviously the next game in your venue, down only 2 points, it's perfectly set up, really.
I think it's going to be an interesting one, right? I think it's one for the fans, but that's what we want. We want that for the league. We want that for ourselves. We want competitive games, and we want the playoffs to exhibit the hard work that all the franchises have done this year.
Well, good luck on Thursday. We'll see you down there.
Thank you. Cheers.
Well, it does promise to be an exciting couple of days down in Worcester as the second leg of the playoffs moves down south. First up, well, this one is probably the least interesting, given the advantage that Leicester have, a 29-point lead. The Flyers are going to have to come out of the blocks even just to put some pressure on the Riders. But that is our first game tomorrow night, just before 5 o'clock. Join us for that one. There's a 7-point differential between London and Cheshire in the second leg, and that one will tip off at 7:30. Make sure you're with us from the University of Worcester for both of those. It's been a great 4 days in Worcester. We've still got lots of action left to play. For Dave Forrest, I'm Daniel Rutledge. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow. Goodbye.
I'ma keep it going till there ain't none left, going till there ain't none, keep it playing on that, going till there